The $1,000,000 question, when will James Harden be traded? Today we'll look at the most recent update from Woj, talk about what the potential final offer could look like, and analyze a few mock trades that could get it done. We'll break it all down here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. You know the drill. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the coverage. You guys have been absolutely killing it right now. Sixers season almost on the way, couple weeks away. The big question, though, the block standing in the way, the obstacle. When will James Harden be traded? We talked about the first preseason game last night. Obviously, he did not play. He's been out there practicing a little bit at training camp. Will he actually suit up? Probably not. That's what it feels like, but there's still time to make reparations. Could they fix this? We have some news and some recent updates and pretty much an idea of what the final trade offer could look like from Woj. So we'll get into that, but let me know your thoughts down below. Give me a guess. Does James Harden get traded before the next couple weeks, before the season opener on the 26th? Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And before we take a look at all of it, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. They are one of the world's largest online therapy services. I know anybody listening out there may know somebody who has gone through, mental health experiences or has needed therapy of some kind. I've definitely gone through issues in my past where, I wasn't feeling the best and I really could have used an outlet like BetterHelp. Their mission is to make the therapy more affordable. They make finding a therapist very, very easy. It's online, remote. All it takes is a few clicks. You answer a few questions and they match you with a professional therapist within a couple days. Then you talk to them at your convenience. Text, call, chat, video call, message. It doesn't matter. You get to establish that relationship and that connection with your therapist. And it's so easy to connect with them, which is, very, very important, especially if you need that outlet. So even if your therapist isn't right for some reason, you can go and switch. You don't have to worry about extra fees or the insurance or whatever. They are right there to help you 24/7. So if you are struggling, consider online therapy. Go down to the description and get 10% off of your first month by clicking the link in the description, or just go to betterhelp.com/PhillyTake. It is never a bad thing to seek help. Speaking of help, will the Sixers help the Clippers? Will they help get this deal done? Report from Adrian Wojnarowski, the Clippers would like to acquire James Harden sooner rather than later, although LA doesn't see a reason to increase their current offer because they believe they are the only team interested in Harden. So, like I said a couple days ago, where this is at, the Clippers want to get this done, right? Training camp's over, preseason. They don't want to start the season a week in, 4 games in, and we've traded for James Harden. That wouldn't really make sense, right? Give some time to establish that chemistry. And if they don't get him, they may end up turning away and say, you know what, we're done. We're done. We don't want it anymore. It's all about where the two parties can meet in the middle. Daryl Morey doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's going to blink first. We've already seen that. James Harden's back at practice, not the other way around. Daryl Morey doesn't want to blink unless they give up more, or in terms of what the Sixers want, what they desire. Now, here's what Woj said as well yesterday. He says they have offered Philadelphia more than anybody else has, which is essentially nobody else. I mean, we've heard rumors about the Heat and a couple other teams, but really nothing, right? It's the Clippers and the Clippers only. They have offered a first-round pick, a pick swap, and expiring contracts. That is what Woj says the Clippers have offered. And in addition to Woj, from ESPN, Ramona Shelburne today says, I've been told the Clippers know what they need to do to get James Harden. It's just a question of whether they want to go all the way there. Well, thank you, Ramona. Wonderful update. I mean, I think we've known all summer what they want to do, what they need to do to get James Harden. Daryl Morey has explicitly said it, right? Or even if they can't give a star, they want more draft picks. They want more draft capital. They want more flexibility. They have all this cap space next summer. It's really easy to see what they want. And Daryl Morey's not budging. Woj also said that Harden's future status with the Sixers depends on moods and trade talks. You're never going to be in a situation where you're going to say, hey, this is going to be smooth sailing for the next 2 weeks or the next month. Essentially, what this comes down to, as much as I want to believe, okay, they can repair this and Harden can come back and, Morey can figure it out, he's not paying him. Nobody's paying him. And He's going to have to play this year on a player option, and he wants out. When James Harden says he wants out, he wants out. Even though he's back, at training camp trying to act like everything's okay, he still wants out. And that leads me to believe that a deal will have to get done, because unless the Clippers just say, we're out, I mean, they want to do this now. They want to get this done with. And if the Sixers really do want to get value back, I don't see them waiting until November, December, January, because then, he sat out half a season. We saw what happened with Simmons. Yeah, it's going to happen soon, or it's not going to happen. That's my take on it. Speaking of what Woj said, though, we'll take a look at some potential trade packages. What could the final offer look like? What is it right now? Here's what the Clippers have on their books, and Woj said that they have offered a first-round pick swaps, and expiring salaries. That leads me to believe Marcus Morris could be in a deal. Nick Batum, Robert Covington, those are the main guys. I would love me some Norman Powell. People keep saying to me on Twitter, oh, well, he's been paid too much. He's overrated. Come on, man. Norm Powell can play. He can play. And for $18 million, that would be an absolute steal based on the market of players now. I mean, Norm Powell would be great. I don't think they want to throw him in. They're not throwing in PG Kawhi. Here's what the Sixers want right here. 2 years left of Terrence Mann. And a lot of people are, creating a hype around him. I wouldn't say some superstar, obviously, but, he could be a valuable role player, at least on the Sixers. Nick Nurse could probably get more out of him. Clippers don't want to include him either. So it leads me to believe the Clippers are trying to bank it around these guys here. And when we go and look at a potential trade, because I was in the lab cooking it up, it's very hard, right? Based on, where the teams are at, who's over what apron, what they can send out, what they can receive. So here is my opinion on what the Philadelphia 76ers want at this point. I put this together on the trade machine. Now, it did say failed. The only reason is because Montrezl Harrell cannot be traded until 3 months after he was signed. So in 6 days, he will be eligible. This trade would go through, I believe. And the Clippers get James Harden. They get Montrezl Harrell as filler, and they get a first-round pick in 29, but that is a pick swap, as you can see on the other side, as the Sixers would swap the 2029 first-round pick. They would get the 2028 first-round pick, and they would get Terrence Mann, Robert Covington, and Marcus Morris to fill salary. Who knows where those contracts would go after, but obviously, again, the prize piece is Terrence Mann, right? They want draft capital. They want Terrence Mann. This is the deal right here where I think the Sixers are saying, this is what we want. Based on what you can offer, based on what's available, this is what we want. Take it or leave it, right? I mean, kind of based off the report, first-round pick swap, etc. Maybe Daryl's trying to get 2 first-round picks like we talked about the other day. I just don't know if you can really demand that for James Harden. Now, here is what I think the Clippers are holding at. Here's where I think they are. James Harden, say, throw Montrezl Harrell in the pick swap, first-round pick, but they don't want to include Terrence Mann. They're willing to go and put the guys on that have 1 year left on the books: Robert Covington, Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, right? The Clippers don't want to deplete all their role players. They don't want to get rid of a younger player like Terrence Mann, because that wouldn't make a lot of sense. And, maybe the Clippers don't want to offer, one of these guys. Maybe they go offer a second-round pick. Who knows? All I know is that the Clippers are trying to get off some of these guys, right? The Batums, the Covingtons, Marcus Morris. I'm still surprised that the Clippers are even interested in James Harden, because I'm telling you right now, folks, James Harden is not returning to Houston Harden. That is not happening. Maybe they think Kawhi is going to miss 25 games and James can play a more active role, but to me, it's going to be very similar to how they tried to get him to play on Brooklyn. A lot of, your turn, my turn. And yes, James Harden was playing efficiently on Brooklyn, but you saw how that kind of eroded very quickly. In my opinion, I've said this all along. James Harden's best opportunity is with the Philadelphia 76ers. Why is that? Because James Harden actually has a dominant center that he can run two-man game with, run the pick and roll. James Harden, Joel Embiid. It's always made sense mostly for him to stay here in terms of the best basketball situation to earn that next contract. But whatever happened behind the scenes, it's over. It's burned. And if the Clippers want to go over the edge, I really think right now Terrence Mann, surprisingly, is the piece that is holding this deal back. They don't want to give him. The Sixers want him. Maybe they involve a third team in this trade and they try to get some more young players or more draft capital. If Daryl Morey can get out of this deal with, a first-round pick, a pick swap, maybe more draft capital in the future, and he goes into next offseason and the Sixers are competitive this year, They build that good identity under Nick Nurse. Then they add, draft picks for the future, which they desperately need. And maybe they add another big player next summer. Maybe they look at that as a success. It all depends on who is going to budge. Do the Clippers really want to go over the edge to get James Harden? Do the Sixers really want to get him away that badly? Who knows? It could turn absolutely toxic if he remains, or maybe he suits up and handles business and plays well. I don't know, man. Big mystery. Give me your predictions down below in the comment section. We are approaching the start of the regular season, a couple preseason games in the next week or two, and then we're there. Things have to happen. Things will turn. I think it happens soon, or it doesn't happen at all. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.